Welcome to the world of clean beauty with makeup by Rosemary Swift. Stick around to see how this full face applies on my mature skin. This morning is something of a treat. I'm going to be trying out RMS Beauty. I hadn't heard of RMS Beauty until quite recently, and I discovered it by watching other people's videos online. And Rosemary Swift, it seems, is something of a pioneer in the makeup game as a makeup artist and also as a pioneer of the clean beauty movement. And I was really interested to see some of her videos of her showing people how to apply the products, and I was curious to see more. So this morning I have a whole range of RMS Beauty products to try out and get to the bottom of what makes RMS Beauty so great. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. I have got a whole range of products here, and I'm going to try and quickly walk you through them before we start to dive in and actually put them on my face. So first of all, we have this Revitalize Hydra Concealer here. And I have got this in the shade ON014. I think that's ON014, which is on olive neutral shade. I have also got the Re-Evolve Natural Finish Foundation. And I have got that in the shade 22. Moving on from that, I have Redimension Hydra Powder Blush. And we have that in the shade Crystal Slipper. I also have RMS Beauty Legendary Serum Lipstick, and that is in the shade Angela. We also have RMS Beauty Eyelight, which is a cream eyeshadow, and that again is in the shade Crystal Slipper. And then I also have this straight up mascara. I don't seem to have the box to hand for this one. And that is in HD black. Oh, I don't think you can see it. There we go. And then I also have this cool box here, which is called the Deluxe Glow Kit. And this has in it the Redimension Hydra Dew Luminizer in Prosecco Fizz, which I think is this one here. And also the Redimension Hydra Powder Blush in Bermuda Rose, which must be this one here. And I have also, therefore, accumulated some brushes from RMS Beauty, which is something of a bonus. There's 2 brushes here in this kit. And also, when I bought the concealer, they were doing a buy concealer, get a free brush deal. So I also have this concealer brush here. So we will run through all of those products and see how they work for my mature skin. Let's get started. Now, unusually for me, I'm actually going to start with the concealer. And the reason for that is because I have given this a quick go already. And let me try and get it so you can see it. And I was surprised by how this dried out on the skin. It comes with a little brush thing like that. And what I noticed was rather than it staying sort of tacky and transferring off of the skin, like a lot of my foundations do, what I found was it actually sort of dried in place, and I was kind of impressed and intrigued by that. I'm certainly intrigued to see whether the foundation is going to do the same thing, but the fact that it dried down onto the skin and therefore wasn't sort of transferring, moving around, I thought was incredible. Um, and so for that reason, I'm going to go in with the concealer first, and we kind of start off by using it as though it were a foundation, just covering up some of the kind of red areas, blend that in, and then we'll kind of take a look at it and see, does this work as a base on its own? But then because I do have a foundation as well, we will go in after that and have a look at the foundation as well. But let's get started with this concealer. I say this is in an olive neutral shade. I actually don't think the foundation came in an olive neutral shade, so I've probably got a straight up neutral um, for the foundation. Let's see, what shall we do with this? I'm suffering from these kind of dark circles. I actually don't think concealer is doing anything to help conceal them, but nevertheless, we will go in here with the concealer. I think I'm suffering a little bit of redness around the nose, a little bit on the chin, maybe down the sides of the nose as well. And let's just pop some on the top of our eyelids. And okay, let's go up here just for the sake of making it even. Right, now this concealer brush came with the product, but I had plans to go in with my makeup sponge actually to blend this out. But let's give this a go first. But then I'm fairly certain I'm going to actually want to go in with my sponge afterwards. I guess it kind of depends what you're doing with the concealer, whether this tiny little brush is kind of what you want to use. I guess if you're spot concealing, then this is the right thing to use. But if you're going to use it like a kind of a pre-foundation, like I am, then I don't think this is going to give us the kind of ability. No, it's not. It's just kind of like patting it in place. So evidently this is good for patting your concealer into place if you want it to stay where it is. But actually I want to use it almost like a foundation. So I'm going to go in with my damp sponge and actually blend that out. We can of course go back in if we want to spot conceal afterwards, but for the moment I think this is my preferred approach. So I think it probably has taken out some of the redness from my face. Like I said, I actually think if I used a bit more concealer and spread it more across the whole of my face, I could probably get away with using that as a base. And the reason I'm interested in doing that is because I think this is sort of drying into the skin. It doesn't seem to me like it's going to transfer off. I might be wrong. But it seems like it's going to stay put rather than transferring off. So I've done that as a sort of a pre-conceal. And I guess we can always go back in over the top with a concealer again if we need to. But now I'm going to give this foundation a go. This has got one of these kind of cool bottles I rather like. The little thing pops up and you can pop it back down again. I actually really like that type of bottle. Right, let's see if we can get some of this. Not sure if you need to hold this in a particular direction to pump it out. Okay, so I've gone in with a little blob on my hands there, and I'm going to go in with the sponge over the top. I actually think this has given us quite a lot of coverage. It's given me more coverage than I was expecting. So it says that it delivers smooth, long-lasting, medium coverage while it hydrates, firms, and softens. Formulated with living ingredients like cutting-edge titanil, moisture-rich vegetable squalene, soothing organic aloe, and our signature RMS adaptogenic herbal blend. Yeah, I mean, I think this is covering actually really quite nicely. I think next thing for us to use is actually the Everlights in Crystal Slipper. Now, I bought this as like a crystal slipper package, hence why I've got the eye lights and the, what is this? The powder blush, also in crystal slipper. and I think that just came maybe with a mascara or something else. I think maybe it was just 2 items in Crystal Slipper. Okay, but let's do a really simple eye and use this Crystal Slipper on our eyes. Oh, it's wanting to exit the tube on its own. Okay, I've just put a little bit on my hands there. Let me dab and swatch this a little bit. Okay, so that is what the Crystal Slipper highlights is looking like. Let's go ahead and put some of this on our eyes. I'm using a brush, but actually it feels like it might go on better if I used my fingers. So if you like to apply your makeup with your fingers, then I think this is certainly a good candidate for that. Okay, so that's really pretty. Really nice all over colour. What do you think of that? Okay, so I actually have 2 blushes to choose from. I have, first of all, the Crystal Slipper blush here. And let's just swatch that on hand here. Let me do this so you can actually see it a little bit. Okay, so that is the Crystal Slipper blush. I haven't done very much actually, probably doing a bit more. And then I also have this Bermuda Rose colour here. I haven't gone too heavy with the swatches, but there is then the Bermuda Rose next to it. So we've got the Bermuda Rose and the Crystal Slipper there. Okay, and then actually after that we have the highlighter. We have Prosecco Fizz, which actually it's looking a bit more gold in real life than I was expecting it to. Let's put the Prosecco Fizz on here as well. Okay, so this here is the Prosecco Fizz as well. All completely beautiful wearable colours. So let's dive in and put some of them on. I actually want to use both the blushes and the highlighter, so we might be going a bit over the top here. But what I might do is actually use this Prosecco Fizz one kind of underneath and then go over that over the top with the Bermuda Rose and then over the top of that with the Crystal Slipper, Bermuda Rose and Prosecco Fizz and see what happens. I'm patting this fresh brush in here and it's taking quite a while to get some pigment on there, so that's quite good because it means you can kind of go in fairly heavy-handed and not worry too much about overdoing it. Oh, I don't know about you, but I really like that colour. Look at that. Really nice, wearable. You'll notice I'm applying it somewhat like a bronzer. I actually think it's a really nice colour to do that with. Right, let's go in with the Bermuda Rose. I use this fan brush that came with the kit for the Bermuda Rose. Can you see that going on? That's giving us a really nice pink flush. Fan brush is probably not picking up as much as I would like, but I kind of wanted to try it out, so Okay, and last but not least, we have the Prosecco Fizz, and let's use one of my own brushes for this one. That's putting a very, very subtle gold kind of highlight up here. Very subtle. Okay, so we could definitely use these cheap cheek products on our eyes as well. And I think what I might do is actually do that. Let's go in with some of the Prosecco Fizz on the eyes as well. Have a look, see what that does. Well, that's rather nice. Rather like that. Okay, so we've just now got a mascara and a lip product left to go in with. I want to try the lip product out actually. So this is the legendary Serum lipstick in the colour Angela. And that's looking like this. It seems to have some arrows around the bottom here. So I'm assuming, there we go, that's some sort of seems to twist it and it comes up and clicks out of the product there. Okay, don't quite know what to expect with this, so let's just give it a go. That feels really creamy and really moisturizing, and Rosemary seemingly is something of a genius when it comes to the texture and consistency of this makeup. Okay, let's finish up with the mascara. So there we have it, a full face of RMS Clean Beauty. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.